Man, what's up? I know y'all just seen the news. I just seen where Donald Trump got shot. So I wanted to talk about that. Man, I just got on here. You know what I'm saying? I woke up and saw the news. I, if somebody could inform me what's going on, that would be great. But I'm kind of like some of y'all. I'm new to what's going on. I'm gonna play the clip. I'm gonna also try to put a link up here. So if somebody want to join me, give me your thoughts about this situation. I'm gonna put it in the chat up here. Hold on, give me a second. I gotta drop it in for a couple of different places. All right, so I just put it on X. If you want to join me. All right. Let me put it in one more place. Let me put this link in one more place. And like I said, if you want to, you can click that link. You can give me your thoughts. Let me know what's going on. Tell me how you feel. What you think about the situation, Donald Trump being shot. Let me just play this.
History of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
See, I hear the gunshots and stuff, but I mean, he gets up, and I think he got like a little graze, or there's some blood on the side of his head.
When you're ready, on you.
Like he got grazed.
Move! Move! Go!
Hawk guys here.
All guys here, move it to the stair.
Stair, get ready. Stair, get ready.
We ready?
Like, this is my first time watching this video.
Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move?
We're
Let's
clear.
move. Let's move.
We're clear.
Come on.
Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold that in your head, it's bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus. Move to the bus.
Let me get my shoes.
Okay, my shoes down. Get the shoes.
Watch out.
See, I mean, I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, bro, but y'all know. And truth be told, I mean, ain't nothing. I'm not hiding them from nobody. I'm gonna vote Trump. But when I see this, it's like they didn't kill him. I almost wonder, is this some type of publicity stunt? You know, he get up, throw his fist up. I know some people are like, be mad at me or whatever, thinking like I'm just bringing up some bullshit. But come on now. I don't know. I'm gonna save my thoughts to more information come out. But it just, something doesn't seem right to me about this. I don't know if it's fake. I don't know if it's a publicity stunt, because he's standing up there by himself. And I thought when a president comes into town or wherever he's at, they scope out all the areas and surrounding areas, and they do their due diligence and all of that. So I'm lost. So like I say, if anybody got any thoughts or comments about this, let me know, because I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. Do you think it's real? Do you believe what's going on? Do you think it's just a publicity stunt? I would like to know. Yeah, so y'all let me know, man. Give me your thoughts, comments, leave a comment. I understand that I don't know how long he was there. So is this something that he just started the rally and then this happened? Was this towards the end of the rally? Or what? I would like to know. If anybody got any thoughts, let me know, because I'm still trying to figure this shit out. I'll play it again. But
And the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
I heard other gunshots. I want to know if somebody else got hit. Did people in the crowd get hit or what? I don't know. And the gunshots, to me, they just don't sound loud enough. I don't know, man. I'm a skeptic. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't believe anything that any government official in this country just tells us right off the rip. I'm starting to turn into a non-believer about a lot of this stuff, like a lot of people. I have to be cautious. I think we all have to be cautious. Because we always being gaslit. Every time election time comes around, they're gaslighting some group. Somebody's getting gaslit.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold on, your head is bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus. Move to the bus.
So he want to get his shoes.
My shoes down, my shoes.
Is that really important? Do y'all think that's important? You think you would be trying to get your shoe if somebody just shot at you? It's only one dude with his hand over the top of his head. I'm not buying it off the rip, bro. I need more evidence. I don't know. They need to get some experts. I need to hear from somebody else. Cause I'm not just gonna jump to the conclusion and say, oh, they tried to kill Trump. It's some bullshit. And, nah. It could be what they call a psyop. Maybe they trying to draw like ultimate pity for Trump. Like, okay, they trying to kill him, so they really mean you need to vote for him, man. I'm just saying. You just got to be cautious. You can't just jump into things anymore like we used to. You just can't do that. But as always, like I've always said, man, I got my link down there in the description. It's you click that link, you can come on. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me how you feel. You know, you ain't got to come on long, maybe a minute or two. Just give me your thoughts about the situation. Matter of fact, I don't even think you have to use your camera. Since I'm, trying to get people to come on and give me their thoughts, it's kind of hard to get some of y'all on. I won't even make you get on camera. You can just use your voice. You can just disable the camera function on there. I'll let you come up and tell me what you think. Ain't no big deal. But like I say, I'm still processing all of this. As of right now, I'm not a believer. I'm a skeptic. I'm reserving my right to say what I fully think about it until I know more information. Because like I said, they can tell you anything. And also, like I say, I'm gonna vote for Trump. I'm gonna vote for Trump. I'm voting for Trump based on policies. So, I mean, if that makes people think that maybe I'm being a skeptic just because I don't like him or something, that's not true. I have voted against him, but this time I'm voting for Trump. I really don't care about like that Project 2025 shit. I can't be gaslit. No, they're not gonna gaslight me with that. So, yeah, I'm just not a believer. I need to know more information, and I need to see more. You know, I'm not gonna just jump out there. This could be anything. They always talking about body doubles. What if he's a body double? What if they was really trying to kill the body double? I don't know. We talk about body doubles on everybody else. I don't have nothing against him. I just want to know what's going on. Do you think we've been gaslit? Because we have been in the past. Everything still hasn't came out about the JFK shooting, when obviously we know the government has something to do with it. Why we don't know everything there is to know about it. We should know everything by now. There's still files that they haven't released and all of this. Like, come on, man. If you didn't have nothing to do with it, just put the shit out there. But you had something to do with it. That's why I say I'm being cautious about this. I'm being careful, not just jumping to conclusions. You could vote one way, and then how most of us, I'm in my late 30s. By the time I get 60, 70, then all these reports will come out about, yeah, that was fake, and so-and-so, some dry cleaner guy, they paid him $10 to shoot a BB gun across the street. He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know the Trump rally was over. Man, it's all kind of, y'all seen this shit before. People get set up. They get gaslit to go do things that they have no clue what's going on. They drug people. So I'm reserving my right to know. I need more information. I cannot be gaslit. You cannot just tell me anything. For those who may just be tuning in, I'll play it again.
And the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Y'all still going to a Trump rally after this?
On you.
Hell yeah!
Move. Go.
They can't run me off.
Hawkeye's here.
Nah, you should go. I mean, you shouldn't be scared.
You ready? Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move? Let's move. Let's move. We're clear.
And honestly, I feel like it should be a lot more people up there. I think there should be like a ton of people up there.
Got you, sir. I got you.
Especially with him being out in the open.
Hold on, your head is bloody.
But I mean, this is just me thinking. I'm not saying that's the proper procedure that they normally take in these type of situations. See, he wanted to throw his fist up. He wanted to get his shoes. I want to see what he has to say. Did he say anything about this yet? Somebody leave it in the comments. Does he have anything to say about this yet? Has anybody from the Trump campaign said anything? Let me see. Let me just go over Twitter real quick. Somebody said Donald Trump took a bullet for this country. You see what they're doing? If you're voting for anyone else, you can go fuck yourself. That's where I'm at. That's not why you should vote for him, though. And I'm voting for Trump. I'm going to keep saying that. Just so people come on here, they don't think like I'm just saying these things to go against Trump. No. I'm just taking a precaution. I'm a skeptic. I don't want to be gaslit anymore. See, you can see where a bullet or something grazed his ear. Looked like it whizzed right past him. Blood came across his face. But it looked like the bullet came from the back because the blood is across the front of his face. You know, just watching the video, you know, you kind of think that maybe it came from the front, where he was facing. See, now you got all these memes and shit coming out. That's why I don't know, man. The Donald Trump shooter. What the fuck? How the fuck did someone get a gun inside the Trump rally? They tried to kill him. Donald Trump got shot in the ear. His face is covered in blood. Pray that he wasn't shot in other parts of his body. That's what I'm saying. If somebody did bring it into the rally, how? Donald Trump grabs his neck and falls to the ground after the sound of shots ring out. See, now you got people predicting a landslide victory, memes. Ladies and gentlemen, the president. Look at this shit. I get it. Now they gaslighting the other side, I'm guessing. They was gaslighting black people with, oh, you're going to be slaves. You're going back to slavery. Now they gaslighting Republicans, man. They trying to kill your president. You better vote for him. Don't have no second thoughts. Don't be swaying back and forth. You need to vote for Donald Trump, because if you don't, it's going to be bad. As you can see, they're trying to kill him right now. Just saying. Let me know what you're thinking. Leave me a comment. So yeah, like I was saying, no more gaslighting for me. I can't be gaslit. It's like he got hit with a mosquito or something. I don't see nothing where he responded. Let me go to his page. Is this his page? Oh, it's a mugshot. Oh, he hadn't even posted on her. Let me look around on the net. I'm calling it the net. What y'all know about that? People don't call it the net anymore. Matter of fact, I can let me see if I can get a live news feed on her. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm pretty sure I can, because I know somebody's going live with it, like a news organization. That way I can kind of keep up with it as we going through it. Y'all gotta be careful what I put up here. All right, I'll just play this from ABC News. I wonder if I can squeeze it up there. I don't think I can. That's too little. Y'all bear with me. I'm doing this on the fly. I didn't have no time to do it before.
For all of us, no matter what party you're in, and so I think it's it's a moment to take stock. And you had 15,000. It seemed it was a huge crowd. I was told by the law enforcement people there are 15,000 people who were enthusiastically supporting their candidate, and all of a sudden, the former president, his life is at risk, and what were peaceful people in the audience are wounded, potentially, fatally. I mean, that's unacceptable, and it's not a matter of party. That's just unacceptable in our great country.
Dave McCormick, thank you for your time. We are so grateful that you are okay. Sadly, as we get this news that potentially some bystanders who were there, at least one, according to the DA, may have been killed.
Oh,
Dave
shit.
McCormick, thank you for your time. I
didn't
want
know
to bring
that,
in
so they're saying a
Donald
bystander
Mahalik,
may have gotten
who is
killed?
an ABC News contributor,
See, that's new to
former
me.
Secret Service. Donald, just walk us through. You've seen the images right now. Obviously, Secret Service agents trained for this in this moment. But what can you tell us about what played out here?
Well, the Secret Service, this is what they train for. This is what they prepare for. Even the preparatory phase for any of these events is a week or more in planning. And part of the preparation is if an incident happens, whether it's an attack on a protectee or another major incident that could impact the event. What we saw here was something happened, and it sounds like from the Butler's DA that potentially a shooter was involved. So it would be an attempted assassination. Shots fired at the protectee, and the Secret Service moved in expeditiously to form a body bunker around the protectee and evacuate the protectee off the stage and move the protectee to a hard location, and then standard procedure, take the protectee to the hospital to be checked out. Everything on the video looks textbook of what the Secret Service trains to do,
Okay,
which
that's
is why they're the world's renowned experts in protection and how they're supposed to perform. It's a sad day in America
proper
that
what
this
they
happened, but thankfully it sounds like President Trump is okay, and hopefully they find out why this individual did this, and they can get to the bottom of it.
And Donald, I know we're still getting more information and trying to get confirmation about exactly what happened, but the way you framed it, really stood out to me, that the Secret Service would treat this as an attempted assassination, something this country has not seen in a very long time.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
What defines that in terms of the training and the moment and
you got
the
any
response?
comments, Miss Sass? You want to come on and tell me what you think about this?
Threats against public officials have gone up exponentially over the last couple of years, as your
Since you're the only one that's not scared,
pointed out. And that threat matrix has
you think it was
contributed
staged
to these
too?
attacks
Okay,
on public
that's what I was
officials,
thinking. I
local,
was thinking
state,
it was
federal.
staged.
We've seen that increase
Now, that's
across
just me.
the board. In this situation, if there's an
Now,
attempted
like I said, I'm gonna
assassination
vote for
against
Trump,
one of our protectees,
but I have my doubts. I really
it
do.
just elevates what's going on in the country, what's going on in the world, and it drives a lot of the Secret Service's protective methodology, because the threat matrix around public
Go ahead,
officials
take your
has
time.
become so
Take your time.
exacerbated and so increased that they have
Miss
to
Sassy,
make
she
sure
gonna come
that
up here
they
and give me your thoughts in a
mitigate
minute, man. If anybody else
each and
want to give
every
me your thoughts,
facet
I'll
of
put a link in the chat.
at an event,
If you
which
can't
is
see the
why,
link,
even though
just,
at times people
send a
complain about
comment
some of the security
and let
measures
me
at
know
these
if you
events,
can. I
the
can't
Secret
see
Service
it.
ends up having to
And I'll get
dot
you a
all
link. I
I's
can,
and cross
if
all
I
T's
need
to
to, I
make
can
sure that every
actually send it
aspect of an
directly
event
to
is
you,
secure.
to your DMs.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I want to bring in Elizabeth Newman now, former Department of Homeland Security in the Trump administration. Elizabeth, what more can you tell us about the security procedures and how perhaps the investigation might play out from here?
Well, we're going to be seeing a lot more digging into the suspect, the shooter who we have been told has passed. We're going to be looking to find out where he has been, find out where he obtained the weapons that he used.
Okay, so they got the shooter.
Looking into phones and computers and his online engagement. We know just historically the last 10 years, most mass attacks, most lone actor attacks do tend to radicalize online. They spend a lot of time online. They plan their attacks from various sites online. So I imagine Secret Service and their supporting law enforcement agencies will be digging into his online profile, as well as where he's been the last few days. If he has any associates, if anybody had some
CIA did have proper
indications
techniques when they was
that
protecting
something was wrong.
Trump.
We know that
Because I was
most
just,
mass attackers
I had my thoughts
tend to
about
have
that.
leakage before they commit an attack, which is why we always ask the public, if you detect that somebody in your life is not doing well, and they start to mention things that are concerning, like they might be trying to plan something to take their own life or to take somebody else's life, to please call police. And that's really important after an event like this. We often do have copycats, or we have other people that are inspired to retaliate.
They always
whatever
say
they
this
perceive
stuff.
might be a political action. So,
Like, I got a problem with that, because they never ask the question, why are these people so angry? Why do these people always want to shoot somebody? It's because our country is fucked up. They need to get to the bottom of that, because a lot of people are just angry. And I'm not making an excuse for them, but I'm just telling you what it is. People getting fucked over, and they don't want to admit that. They just rather lock people up and throw them away. That's bullshit.
So this is a time for calm and for the public to stay vigilant. And if you have any concerns about in your life, to somebody in your life that might need help, to don't hesitate to call law enforcement and get help for that person.
Elizabeth Newman, thank you so much. I want to go back to Pierre
And then
Thomas
ask
in
him what the
Washington.
fuck is
Pierre,
going
I
on.
understand President Biden now has also been briefed by the Secret Service. And we talked with numerous people today about this heightened level of vigilance, heightened security threat level. Now that we're getting reports that potentially there were shots fired, a shooter was killed, and maybe a bystander, that changes everything, doesn't it now?
It does indeed. We're being told by our sources that President Biden is being briefed by Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas and Secret Service Director Cheeto. That gives you a sense of the amount of concern here going forward. And I can tell you, with the Attorney General and the FBI Director, but the Attorney General in recent weeks has been openly concerned, telling the staff about his fears about this spike in threats aimed at political figures in this country. That, along with the ongoing war in Israel.
Everybody's pissed off.
The resurgence of ISIS And basically, a lot of sources have been telling me their hair has basically been on fire because
our hair has
FBI
been on
director
fire.
said he's never seen a situation where virtually every threat zone is elevated. And right now, because this
y'all got
is,
immigrants
has
and folks
the
coming
potential
over here, they
of
getting
being an
checks and
assassination
money,
plot.
they
We
getting
don't
all
know
these benefits.
The details of
And you
yet
got folks
of
that's
that yet.
already
That's
over
not
here, they ain't getting
officially
shit.
confirmed,
Y'all
but
telling us
I
to
can tell
stop
you that it
asking.
will be looked at in that
Stop
way.
asking for stuff that's rightfully
This is
ours
only going to
that we should already
increase the
be getting.
concerns
That's
that
why
we're
some
in this
people are mad.
Very sinister and concerning
Y'all can
moment
be mad at
that
me
law
for saying
enforcement
that.
is going
That's
to
the
have
truth.
to factor in going forward. I think every rally that the President Biden,
Motherfuckers ain't
President
just
Trump
walking,
does
waking up one
going,
day and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go
forward is
shoot
going to have
somebody."
to be reassessed
Matter of fact,
in
I'm gonna
terms
go
of the
shoot a
level of
former
security
president, or I'm gonna
that
just
is
go
provided
shoot
with.
up this building.
Pierre Thomas, thank you. I do want to bring in
a
Aaron
reason for
Katersky,
that.
our senior investigative correspondent, who's also been talking to law enforcement sources on this. And Aaron, a big part of the conversation in the last
don't
half
say
hour
that.
or so
You
since
sound
we've
like
been
you
getting more
side with-
information is,
No, I'm just
is
telling
whether
you the
or not
truth.
this was some kind of assassination attempt. What are you learning from your sources?
While it's certainly not being confirmed as such yet, with,
If I can't go fill up my grocery cart,
been briefed on
but
the
I go in
situation
Walmart and I see an
Pennsylvania
immigrant
are telling us
who
here
ain't
that,
put no skin in
they
the
are
game, he got a
investigating this
full
now
goddamn
as a
buggy.
possible assassination attempt.
You see that enough, I
The
bet you'll
sources
lose
told
your
ABC
shit too.
News live rounds were
I bet you
apparently
will.
fired from outside the security perimeter, which may help explain some of the dynamics at play
Oh,
here.
okay, 'cause
And
I read a
and
tweet
we know
tried
that
to make it seem like the shooter was
magnetometers
on
were
the
in place for the
inside.
event. But it's believed, one of the angles of investigation now is that live rounds were possibly fired from outside the security perimeter, and that's where the investigation stands at the moment.
And Aaron, you
must
have
have had a
also been
sniper
to
rifle.
a lot of these different events, not just various political events from former President Trump,
Man, y'all
but
click
also
that link, man. Let me
his court
tell me what you
hearings,
think.
in New York, and the security measures
Come
that
on
have been
and
in
join me.
place at each and
I just
every
wanna know
one of
your
them.
thoughts about this
Talk more
situation, Donald
about
Trump
the
getting
typical
shot.
response and how law enforcement would prepare for an event like
I don't
this.
think it was nothing fatal.
The planning
I don't think it was
for
nothing.
these events
No.
is always evolving, and
It's
it is
long-standing.
sometimes months, if not years, in the making, especially for a planned event like a political convention or some kind of rally. And this is what the Secret Service does on a daily basis. And I know colleagues have talked to you about the
Everybody who,
heightened threat
who tweeted my
environment and how
space,
that environment is
like
dynamic.
the
It's been elevated
post.
ever since October
really
7th,
appreciate it.
and the political
And I
climate in the
appreciate everybody
country
who came
has
through.
certainly made authorities
Join me.
concerned.
As
We
long
don't
as
know
you're here, I
anything about
appreciate it, man.
what may
I
have
appreciate your
factored into
support.
all of this, of course. So this is still very early, but this is now being investigated as a possible assassination attempt, and the suspicion now is that live rounds were fired, apparently from outside the security perimeter.
Aaron Katersky, thank you. And once again, to our viewers who may just be turning in, wondering what's going on here. This incident happening in Butler, Pennsylvania. This was supposed to be a major rally for former President Trump ahead of the Republican National Convention.
But like I was saying earlier,
There were,
man, I'm
hints that
I'm still a
perhaps
skeptic.
he might select a
You can't
possible
just tell
running
me
mate
that this
in the
was-
next 48
this
hours
really
or
happened.
so.
I mean,
So a lot of
I'm
attention
guessing it
was
happened.
on this specific
I'm saying it
event.
happened, but
And then
I'm
we
not
heard from
believing
witnesses and from
everything
Rachel
that
Scott,
I'm
who was
seeing
inside
right
the
now.
venue,
I
who
need
said that they described
more
the
time and more
repeated
information.
popping sounds. It sounded like gunshots. Then you see in these images and the videos the Secret Service swarming around the former president who reached for his right ear as he went down behind the podium.
I don't know. I can't
The
remember
Secret
this
Service
one
agents
video
then-
I seen on YouTube that was explaining who was the guy who reported on the JFK shooting. He came on TV and he was describing everything that happened. That right there was kind of the same situation. You have to be careful because they can paint a picture for you and make you think a certain way, and you'll run with that if you hear it enough, and then it won't be true. So we just got to be careful. That's all I'm saying.
And forming somewhat of a human shield over him before escorting him off the stage. And here you see in these images when Trump got up onto his feet, there were cheers from the crowd. He started pumping his fist as that blood started to trickle down from the top of his right ear. And again, from the district attorney in Butler County telling ABC News, and this is the only source so far that we've had about the shooter being killed and a possible bystander and maybe another who was also injured in this shooting. But the district attorney giving us that information, saying that they were looking into this right now and told that there was chaos out there as they were investigating the next steps in this case. So once again, if you're just
So let
joining
me
us,
know,
the
do
former
y'all believe
president,
it?
spokesperson
Are you
tells
a
us that he
believer?
is fine.
You
He
think
is
it's
safe right
bullshit?
now. but no information
Do
in
you
terms
trust
of
it?
an apparent injury.
Are you still
although
gonna
we
vote?
did
Are
see
you
that
not gonna
blood in
vote?
some of the photographs that we've seen flash
How does this
across
make
the
you
screen
feel?
here.
Let me know.
This is a developing story. I want to bring in Brad Garrett, who's one of our law enforcement contributors. Brad, you're familiar with many investigations of a large scale. We've heard right now from a number of sources that law enforcement they're at least looking at this, Brad, as a potential assassination attempt. How does an investigation like that move forward from here?
Now, I mean, if you ask me,
So obviously, what the real key
I'm not a
is,
believer.
is it contained? Do you know
I need more info.
enough at this
I
point?
keep saying it.
Is this a lone shooter? Is this shooter part of a group?
Yeah.
So you want to look at that immediately. You know,
Once they
based
get
on
down
what the
to the
local
nitty-gritty
district
of it,
attorney
they're
is
gonna
saying,
find out.
if that is accurate, that you have
I'm pretty
the shooter
sure it's
down
more than
and
one
maybe
person.
2 other people
Because people that
down.
do stuff like this, they're not just gonna
You know, that may get answered, I will tell
do it by
you,
themselves.
through law
I think you need
enforcement,
more than
because
one
it's
person
very
to do this.
conceivable that the shooter and these 2 quote-unquote bystanders would be shot by law enforcement, because they're going to go to the shot, and there's going to be people, there's going to be snipers around these locations, and so they maybe just immediately beat it in on somebody. But to your question about where they're going to go from here, that's going to be the real key. Is this just some disgruntled guy that doesn't like the former president, or is he part of a group that doesn't like the former president, which then could obviously spin into something else? But this may be a lone actor. We just don't know yet.
Brad Garrett, stand by. Again, we're still waiting on some more information here, but I do want to just, forgive me, I'm going to bring you back for just a follow-up question on that exact point, whether they're looking to see if this was a lone actor, if others may have been involved, as I'm still getting information right now. But from the law enforcement perspective, one thing that I thought was interesting there, and we talked about this with John Carl earlier, is it's not just the Secret Service, right? You have multiple law enforcement agencies
I was
on
finna
the
ask
ground at
Damien.
these major events.
Tell them to come
and
on,
they all,
but I think
Secret
he
Service
just started
takes the
up his
lead, but they're
live.
all working together. We saw some of them come up onto the stage in tactical gear and long guns. How do those partnerships play out in the minutes, the hours, and the days after an event of this magnitude?
So certainly during the event itself, you're exactly right. The Secret Service only have so many people, and they're going to coordinate this with the city,
Look
county,
at Plies.
and
He
state
talking about
jurisdictions in obviously
bruh
this
faking
case, the
being
state of
shot,
Pennsylvania.
trying to win an election. This shit
they
crazy.
will have practiced, trained prior to this event,
Plies
and
bought the
maybe
goddamn
because the president
butter
does
biscuit
hold a lot
bonanza
of
over
rallies,
there,
have
didn't
worked
he?
together before.
He gonna get the
all the
buffet.
different angles.
Yeah, goddamn
Obviously,
buffet
the Secret Service
buster.
are going to be the immediate
That motherfucker there.
response and around the president. But the next layer or 2 layers or rings around security are going to be
Draco.
quite possibly other law enforcement agencies. And to my previous conversation with you, it may have been one of them that got to the shooter, or these 2 quote unquote bystanders.
Wix gives you the power of AI to build the website you need. With full business
and has worked closely with the Secret Service. Any more thoughts as we continue to learn all of these developments? Again, that attendee was killed, suspected shooter dead. I know that we heard those popping noises when I played out some of that scene from earlier today. Would you be able to tell what kind of weapon was used in that scenario?
At this point, we don't know enough. And one of the things I would point out is we're relying on an audio feed that came from from media that's there, and so it's difficult. Obviously, from an audio feed, we have zero direction. We can't tell where it came from. We have no ability to do that. And what we hear could have been muffled. It could have been an echo, if you will, off of other things that are out there. You saw a lot of tentage and a variety, you got a lot of people out there. All of this does things with sound that can be, certainly from where we are, a little bit difficult to ascertain exactly what kind of weapon it is. The fact that it sounded like it was more than one shot, it sounded like it was multiple shots in rather quick succession, would indicate that it may have been
okay, hold on. I think I got
small
something.
arm. Possibly
Let me see
something,
if I
a
can get it
smaller
up there.
ballistic weapon, maybe. And if it was a pistol, assuming it's not a rifle, They said they took out the shooter. They killed the shooter, and that would indicate that the shooter was probably in fairly close proximity, unless they just got really lucky. But it would probably be in closer proximity. That again is a supposition. We don't have any details. We don't know that for sure. But if that's the case, it could have been a smaller weapon, and it may have been something like an improvised weapon, sort of what was used, maybe something that was designed specifically to evade all the security precautions at a rally like this. And if that's the case, it may be a smaller caliber weapon. Could be a 22, 25, could be a 380, a smaller type weapon. In terms of the type of ballistics involved, in terms of the rounds that would have been fired. But we'll find that out. We'll also
you be
find
trying
out
to go to a
how the
page.
person killed was killed.
That should be crazy.
Were they behind former President Trump, or in around former President Trump? Was that how they were hit? Could it have been somebody that was closer to the shooter? Could have been somebody that got in front of the shooter, or in front of the shooter while they were shooting, or somebody who saw the shooter and tried to take action. We have no information on that right now.
Oh, and I got this video I just found from Shannon Sharp's burner. It says the video shows shooter Donald Trump rally dead on roof after being killed by Secret Service. Here you go.
I think they hit him because the guy lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. You can see the guy there.
So I'm guessing that's the shooter.
They hit him because the guy looks dead.
That shot at Donald Trump. He was on top of a roof somewhere nearby.
Aqui, ó. You can see the guy there.
So I don't know if y'all can see that or not.
I think they hit him because the guy looks dead.
Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger.
Tá vendo?
'Cause y'all old.
Lá em cima,
I know
né?
y'all some
Aqui,
old
ó.
people.
You can see the guy there.
Hope y'all can see that a little bit better.
I think they hit him because the guy looks dead.
Looked like he was
Tá vendo?
sitting up there. I don't know what type of weapon he had. He probably had a sniper
You can see
rifle
the
if
guy
he was
now.
up there. Or some type of long range weapon.
I think they hit him because the guy looks dead.
And that video comes from Shannon
Tá vendo?
Sharp's
Lá em
burner.
cima, né? Aqui, ó. You can
The
see
page
the guy
is
there.
Shannon Sharpie. Shannon and Sharp
I think they hit
with 3
him because
E's.
the guy looks dead.
And that's on X.
Tá vendo? Lá em cima, né?
So
Aqui, ó.
I'll give him the proper credit
You
for
can see
that.
the guy there.
I'll let it play one more time. I'll go back to my
I
other
think
video.
they hit him because the guy looks dead. Tá vendo?
Now, and so we're going to find out more about that situation as it develops. But there's going to be a lot of evidence gathering. There's going to be a lot of investigation with physical forensics on scene.
If y'all missed
looking
it,
at everybody's feeds,
leave it in
whatever they were
tell me
streaming
in the comments.
out there, but
Because I
also
just
looking
played a
at
video that
anything
showed
online with the,
the
shooters
alleged
themselves to figure out who
shooter
was this person connected with,
who was down
who
on
are
top
they
of a
talking
roof.
to, is there a
that's
broader
allegedly.
conspiracy? Do they need to change the threat condition across the board?
Y'all want
These
me
are
to?
all
I can
things
play
the
it
Secret
again.
Service is doing in
'Cause all
conjunction
of a
with
sudden I
other law
see new
enforcement
people
agencies.
popping in.
Hal, I do want to bring
So I might as
up
well
this
do that real
photo
quick.
that we just got
Hold on, what'd she say?
into our newsroom, courtesy of our partners over at Fox 4. Very jarring images that we see there. The moment, it seems, when former President Trump ducked down behind the podium, you see.
All right. This is the video from Shannon Sharpie on X. It's a video of the alleged shooter
Lá em cima, né?
down
Aqui, ó.
on a roof.
You can see the guy there.
I haven't confirmed anything. This
think
hasn't
they
been
hit him
confirmed by
because the guy
anybody.
looks
This is
dead.
just a video I found on
Lá em
X.
cima, né? Aqui, ó. You can see the guy there.
As you can
I
see, he's
think
on
they
there
hit
on the
him
roof.
because the guy
He ain't moving.
looks dead.
So,
Tá vendo? Lá em cima,
like
né?
Major Payne
Aqui, ó.
said, if he in there, he ain't
You
happy.
can see the guy there.
That nigga ain't happy. He looked dead.
I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
See the blood trickling down his face. It must have been so scary for him, as it was for people that attended this rally. I'd like you to tell our viewers a little bit about the Secret Service detail that does follow the former president. You had mentioned earlier in our conversation,
anybody's just
he is not
tuning
a
in,
current
Donald
sitting
Trump
president, but still, he
grazed
does
with a
have
bullet.
heavy security around him at
They
all
rushed
times.
him out of
Can you
there.
tell our viewers how that works?
I came on.
Well, yeah, the
I'm a
security
skeptic.
detail, it's not as robust as the
I
sitting
need more
president.
information to believe
The
it.
sitting president
I
has
mean, it could
other
have really
things that they
happened.
have to be concerned with.
I'm
For
just not
example,
buying
they are the
everything as of
commander in
right
chief,
now.
so they have to maintain communications.
I don't want to be
They have
gaslit into
the infamous
voting one
launch
way
codes,
or
if you will,
being
for
swayed
nuclear
to do
weapons.
something
There's a lot of
I
things
shouldn't be
that
doing
surround
just because
the
somebody
sitting
has an
president
agenda.
that a
I
candidate
got
for
my own
president
agenda.
wouldn't have. What they have
And I'm gonna stick
is
to
a
that.
security detail that is really there to protect the protectee, if you will, which is the candidate. In this case, the candidate's former President Trump. So there is a fairly robust capability there. There will be some medical expertise on hand, whether they have a paramedic. I don't know whether they have I would imagine with an event like this, they would probably have something along the lines of an ambulance or something nearby, if for nothing else, just to deal with the heat issues in crowds like this in case somebody gets ill. But with that, the detail itself will have some sort of emergency capability, emergency medical capability. And of course, they're fully prepared. They know that what they do, that they're protectee. The reason they're there is because somebody may try to shoot them.
Man, give me your thoughts. What do y'all think about
and
this?
Therefore,
Do you believe
or
it?
something else, and therefore,
Do you trust what you saw?
Excuse me, I do have to cut you off for a moment here because here on your screen we
Click
do have
that
some more
link.
breaking news from the Associated
know.
Press saying law enforcement officials say shooting at Trump rally is being investigated as attempted assassination of ex-president. Those are powerful words to hear today, especially after seeing what happened at that rally. What do we make of this?
Well, what I make of this is what I kind of expected. I mean, if somebody was killed, in whatever happened, if there was a bystander that was killed, and of course, the former president was wounded, even though it's not a serious or life-threatening wound, if you will, you have to assume, you have to look at this and say, look, that was a bona fide attempted assassination. That's that's somebody was trying to kill former President Trump, and it's fortunate that it did not happen, that he was grazed, and Secret Service was able to get him out of there, get him to safety, and whatever did happen, whatever wounds he has, they're dealing with those, but.
So yeah, just let me know what y'all think about this, man.
That's the
Like
way
I told you, I'm a
they're going to
skeptic.
handle this. And in fact, I would expect they're going to treat it as an attempted
just to see that
assassination,
Donald Trump had been shot.
unless there's some compelling evidence that
I
it
had a
wasn't an
video
attempted
that I just
assassination,
showed
because that would be kind
everybody
of a immediate
showed
default of what you have to
the
go
alleged
into.
shooter down
As what
on
are you
top of
looking
a
at?
roof
And
somewhere
I can't imagine
nearby.
any other conclusion that they would have at this point based on everything we've seen.
I think that was going to be my next question. To say attempted assassination, what kind of evidence would have to be in place for investigators to come to that conclusion? But I guess what you were trying to say here is that it is an attempted assassination unless proven otherwise.
Well, based on just what they have right there, you have the protectee was wounded. Again, not a life-threatening wound, but it was a serious attempt. And then somebody that was there was killed, was murdered, if you will. And so that obviously, if somebody was killed, then whatever use of force that the would-be assassin or the shooter had was serious enough that they could have obviously killed former President Trump had they hit him if there had been a different type of shot. So they have to kind of treat that as an attempted assassination. Right now, there would be no other conclusion I certainly could come to that this was anything but an attempted assassination. This wasn't, there was some speculation initially.
I mean, you can't
when they
fault
didn't
people
know
for
if
being
there
a
was
skeptic.
former
being
President Trump
cautious
had actually been hit.
about what they're seeing.
There was
right
some
now.
speculation that maybe it could have been firecrackers or something like that, and certainly you could have said that initially, maybe if you didn't have any information, and then there was some speculation out there on that. Obviously, this is nothing like that. This was a bona fide attempt to assassinate a political candidate, and they were using a weapon capable of deadly force because not only did it injure the former president, but it killed somebody who was a bystander and somebody else around. And we don't have any information on the particulars on that, but obviously that tells you whatever weapon they have was capable of causing a fatal injury.
All right, so looking here again at that very powerful and compelling image that we have from our partners at Fox 4 News, we're going to continue on throughout the course of this evening as we learn more from this very scary situation over in Butler, Pennsylvania, happening earlier today. Hal Kemper, stick with us here on the line. We're going to continue to speak with you as we learn more. We're dissecting the situation. Just reports that it's being investigated as an attempted assassination. We're going to have more from you coming up in a little bit. Stick with us here. For now, everyone else that is continuing to join us, or if you are just joining us now, we are following this breaking news from earlier today in Butler, Pennsylvania. Two people dead, the shooter and also an attendee that attended the Trump rally. We did carry that moment live for you. We have been playing it for you throughout the course of this evening in case you have missed it, so you can see the moment that all of this unfolded. I would like to go ahead and reset now that we're about to hit the top of the hour here. We're going to continue our commentary. We are nonstop as we continue to get more information from this. Again, a shooting at a Trump rally from earlier today, now being investigated as an attempted assassination. If you are just joining us now, watch the moments this all unfolded.
I'm trying to see what more people's thoughts is about this.
All right, before we do showcase that, as I said, this is developing and we continue to get breaking news. We have President Biden tweeting on this event. Take a look here. He says this: I have been briefed on the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. I am grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family and for all those who were at the rally as we await further information. Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service. The president here echoing similar statements that we heard from the former President Trump earlier today as he thanked law enforcement and also the Secret Service agents that helped during that time as we heard those shots ring out during that rally. The former president taking to the podium and speaking at around 6 p.m. Eastern time. That rally was supposed to happen at 5 p.m. Eastern time. It was about an hour late. About 5 minutes into the former president speaking is when those shots first rang out. But again, here on your screen, we are finally getting official word and a statement from President Biden, saying again, I have been briefed on the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. I'm grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family and for all those who were at the rally as we await further information. Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service. Again, though, if you are just joining us, we have just hit the top of the hour and we are going to once again showcase the moment that all of that unfolded earlier today in Butler, Pennsylvania. Let's watch.
And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down.
What y'all think, man? Somebody give me some comments. Somebody give me your thoughts.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Something.
Let me get my shoes, sir. Hold that in your head, bloody. So we gotta move to the bus.
Click the link, join me, leave a comment, let me know what's up. Do you believe it?
Watch out.
Is it a psyop? Do you think you're being gaslit? Or do you just don't even care? If you don't care, I'd like to know from you too.
And look what happened to.
Okay, so that clip playing back, and this is something that we're going to stick with for the rest of the evening. We do have national security man
For the rest of the evening, they finna talk about this shit all the way to the election.
With us here. We're going to keep
Bro.
talking this through. We're getting more and more details in.
They're going to talk about this shit every day. It's over with.
The evening progresses. As Carell, who so ably has been reporting this breaking news, showed just moments ago, the president has been briefed on the shooting at this rally. He says that he's grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well. Biden saying, I'm praying for him and his family and for all of those who were at the rally as we await further information. So, Hal, let's just talk about how we could have gotten here. You've been talking at length about the digital aspect to investigations like this. I'm curious, how do investigators sift through all the noise to find credible information? Because you have to imagine that threats come through the pipeline on the regular.
Your mic is muted, Bubba.
Thought the Secret Service, U.S. Secret Service, does this better than any other organization in the world in terms of proactive protection. The Secret Service is a little different. Yes, they do investigations, they solve crimes, but in the protection side, when they're looking at protecting
that dude almost got killed.
A candidate or a president or vice president or whoever the protectee is,
I'll be right back.
they have to take a very proactive stance because their
Some agua.
goal is not to solve the crime. Their goal is to stop the crime from ever taking place. So they go out there and they are interviewing anybody who threatens or poses a potential threat to whomever it is they're protecting. A lot of times today, that will be found online. It'll be found in social media. It'll be found in various different things, group chats, all sorts of things that people will be saying stuff. And it's not uncommon that they will get a knock on the door from Secret Service agents who will have a little discussion with them to find out more information and to let them know that they're very much on their radar. And more often than not, that's all it takes. And that will deter somebody from doing something. And in many cases, they'll find someone is spiraling in a certain direction, and they were able to bring resources to bear to deal with what could be mental illness or some other problem that resulted in whatever threat that person may have put out there. So they tend to be very proactive. In this case, somebody obviously got to the rally. Somebody actually fired
give me
a weapon
some water, man.
At former President Trump.
What y'all think about this? I think the Dems,
somebody else who was
you know what
there.
they gonna do? They finna be.
So it was a use of deadly
see, I have to
force
vote
in
for
that
Joe
regard
Biden
because
now.
Obviously, if it kills
Because if you
somebody,
vote for
that's deadly
Donald Trump,
force
he's
by
going to be
definition.
so angry.
And
he's going to make
so
sure
they're
that
gonna be looking at
anybody
how
who's
they
his
didn't find
political
this person.
rival is
That'll
going
be
to
a
go to
question I'll ask.
jail.
But they're also gonna be
It's going to
trying
be
to figure
just
out,
like when Hitler
was this
was in
person
there.
associated with
You're
somebody
going to
else?
go to jail. They're going to
They'll be
kill
looking
you.
at all sorts
You're
of
going to be a
possible
political
motivations
prisoner.
Of a of
shut
someone
up.
who might do something like this, who would want to kill former President Trump, and they'll, I'm sure they'll be looking at the political spectrum of that, and there's unconfirmed reports of who the shooter is, and it's unconfirmed right now. But what I saw, they were immediately talking about an organization which is looks at, it's an by definition, it's Antifa, anti-fascist. Again, it's unconfirmed. We haven't heard any official thing on that yet. It may come in
I don't
very
believe
quickly. But if that's the case, that would definitely fit. That's a left-wing anarchist organization, and that would certainly make sense that one of their more
Everybody finna be gaslighting the shit out of
rabid followers,
everybody
if
now.
you will, might get motivated to do something
This
as
shit gonna
heinous
be
as
on
what you
10.
see here. That would fit, but I don't want to jump to conclusions because what we're seeing is just stuff that's been posted online, and frankly, we got to wait till Secret Service comes out and really to give us a real good definition of who this might be.
So when we talk about an event like this was a run-of-the-mill campaign rally. We see President Trump doing these on the weekly. This one was in Butler, Pennsylvania. This is about an hour's drive north of Pittsburgh. What kind of challenges do security officials have to deal with when they're trying to secure an event of this magnitude?
I would really like for
with,
somebody to join me.
a presidential candidate.
I always
and former
ask that, man.
President in attendance. What are the
'Cause I really
challenges
do. I
with
really
keeping
want somebody
something
to give
like
me their
this
thoughts.
secure, Hal?
There is a
I know
whole
somebody may think it's
playlist
funny.
they
Oh,
go
we
off
gotta
of.
pay
It's
for people to
kind
come
of
on.
like a,
I don't give a fuck.
excuse me, like a
I
playbook.
want somebody to come on
that
here.
they go through and they do all the.
Tell me what
you
you're
always
thinking.
hear this. You see
Or
in the
leave a
movies
comment.
too. Whenever
Like
they
I
talk about
always
Secret
say,
Service, the
don't just
advanced
sit here
teams,
and watch me.
They go up there. So
I
they
need
will
you
go up
to
there and they will
interact
look
with
around the
me
area.
so
they
I
will
can do
Do a
things.
site survey. They will
Maybe
work
I can
with
do
local
more
law enforcement.
things.
They will work with others that they may bring in just for the event. They will try and contain the area. They will look at access control. They will look at line of sight of potential would-be assassins, of where they might position themselves. They look at all sorts of things. They're also looking at how do they get the protectee onto the stage? How do they get them off the stage? Where do they position the beast, the vehicle, if you will, the armored vehicle, so they can get them out of harm's way, out of possibly being shot or something. And of course, these are all things we just saw play out. Everything you just saw there.
They say the
So
word
they go through
stage
this
is
whole
trending
thing
on
and
Twitter
where
right now.
Everybody will stand in proximity. A lot of this
Everybody's
is
a
pretty
skeptic,
much,
man. See, they didn't
something
blew
that- I
this
mean,
shit
it's-
so
it's
far out of
ingrained
proportion.
in terms of what they do.
It didn't win.
There's a school.
Hold on.
They go through the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, the famous FLETC school at Brunswick, Georgia. I've done training in Brunswick, Georgia, at what's called FLETC out there. But then
Yeah, they
they
just-
go and do additional training.
They done
and
made
one
everybody
place
a
they go
skeptic.
Is to a place near
Now,
Washington,
people, we
D.C.
don't believe anything what they're seeing, what they're saying. We
And
don't
it's
believe
a,
anything
they
what we're
actually
seeing.
have a full
And they want to know why.
compound, if you will.
And they're confused
It's
as
a very
if
extensive thing
as to
where
if
do
they don't know why.
Everything you can
They know
possibly
why.
imagine in terms of thwarting
Y'all done lied to us
assassinations.
so much.
And they go through an extensive.
Why should I
training
believe
program
you
there
now?
Where they are.
Now you want to do right?
vehicular
Now you want to do the right thing?
ambushes, Everything you can possibly imagine.
I ain't buying it.
In terms of all the scenarios that they have to be prepared for. So by the time they get out there and do a protectee detail, they're going to have a lot of training under the belt. Now this particular group, highly trained, they're not the presidential detail. That's a little. Usually, the presidential detail has a lot of other stuff involved with it, and depending on the campaign season, it can really get rather involved. You know, initially in a very robust campaign season, you could have a lot of different candidates out there, all of whom qualify, or most of them will qualify for Secret Service protection, and so they can really drain the resources down. That's a challenge they had. If you remember when President Trump was running for president in 2016, certainly just on the Republican side, there was a lot of different candidates that were running in the primaries, and we kept hearing the Secret Service was spread pretty thin.
So
they were
Hal,
bringing
I don't mean to cut
they
you
were
off
being
here,
augmented
Hal.
with other resources.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off here, Hal, but we're hearing that President Biden will be speaking very shortly. This is, and we just lost the image. We have another angle that we're watching for, but we are anticipating hearing from the president very shortly on this matter. My colleague Andrew Kraft is standing by right now. We're going to bring him in. Andrew, I want to point out also that we're hearing in from Jackie Heinrich. The Biden campaign tells Fox the Biden campaign is pausing all outbound communications and working to pull down their television ads as quickly as possible. Andrew?
This shit getting serious and more serious.
Implications of this. The Biden campaign was in the midst of a $50 million ad blitz this month with spots running in all of the key swing states. The massive ad buy was launched last week, according to reporting from Peter Doocy and Jackie Heinrich. The Biden campaign now pausing all outbound communications, and they're working to pull down television ads as quickly as possible in the wake of this attempted assassination attempt on his chief arch rival in the presidential campaign, of course, Donald Trump. We're also learning that President Biden will be making remarks very, very soon. He's home, I believe, in Wilmington, Delaware at the moment.
I'm going to hang around for a little bit.
Tonight, as he is
I'm going to see if how long it's going to take for Biden to come up here and let him say what he's going to say. And then after that, I think I'm going to just open up the space.
Soon. We have the statement in from President Biden as well. Let's read that. He says, I've been briefed on the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. I'm grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family and for all those who were at the rally as we await further information. It goes on to say, Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. We must unite as one nation to condemn it. So Hal Kempfer, Austin Westfall here in the Live Now newsroom. Definitely a day for the American history books, no less. This is coming 2 days before the start of the Republican National Convention. To Austin Westfall's point, Hal, Donald Trump holds campaign-style rallies weekly. He just had one in Florida this week at his golf course. This has been a common theme and feature of the Trump movement since he came down the Golden Escalator at Trump Tower in June of 2015. And throughout the duration of the last 8-9 years, we've seen protesters get kicked out of Trump rallies. We have never seen anything like this at a Trump rally. Trump touts his crowd size at these rallies.
Like I always say, man, if y'all can leave a comment and let me know what your thoughts is about this. I got a link in the chat. If you don't know what the link is, just check the comment section of whatever website you're on.
The former president
you can click that link. I'm sitting right here and I'll be waiting for you.
Has fundamentally changed going forward into the later summer here. So we're getting more and more reaction, and we're going to continue to do that here on Live Now with so many Republicans and Democrats alike. I think that's very important to note that from all political stripes, governors, senators, former presidents wishing the former president a speedy recovery, thanking law enforcement for their quick and decisive actions. And we wait for President Biden to address the nation on this, as well as he faces his own questions on his own campaign.
We are hearing from the president right now. Let's listen.
Peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I'm able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. But so far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that there's thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. He's going
to fuck around and say something crazy.
So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to him tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do, okay?
He finna hurry up and get the hell out of there. He can tell he finna say something crazy.
I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make some
comment. Motherfucker finna start shitting and farting on himself. He finna go. Look at
Okay, so
Bro,
we missed
like
the
a zombie, dog.
Remarks.
They keep strutting him out there. They like, look.
Play those back. Here's Biden
this little
speaking
speech.
just
You
moments
say
ago
this
from
and
the
get
top.
the hell out of there.
Thanks for
Look how he
coming,
walking
folks.
up there, man.
I've been thoroughly briefed by all the agencies in the federal government as to the situation, based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And so, and I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that people who, and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea,
did he come back out there?
That there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate.
Oh, no.
Everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I'm able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. So far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that there's thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do. Okay?
Mr. President, do you think this was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Are you worried for your own safety? Was the security failing, Mr. President?
President Biden wrapping up his remarks there. We still have standing by Andrew Kraft and Hal Kempfer both. We have some information in from Jackie Heinrich saying the shooter killed by Secret Service counter sniper team. 2 additional casualties taken to Pittsburgh Hospital, Fox is told, per law enforcement source. We know that Butler, Pennsylvania is about an hour's drive north of Pittsburgh. And before we were listening in to the president, Andrew, I believe you were discussing some of the politics surrounding this.
Well, that's also so true, Austin, that you heard there from President Biden, who said that he tried to reach former President Trump and that hopefully the two will speak eventually. We know the former president is still at the hospital recovering. We're hearing he's in good spirits, but President Biden, his key political rival, did reach out as well. We're hearing from former presidents too, former President George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama all issuing statements as well. But there are so many questions about what happened there at the rally. We have Hal Kempfer on, who has extensive experience with counterterrorism, law enforcement. Hal, you yourself have worked in trainings with Secret Service officials. I want to read the statement in from the Secret Service spokesperson. His name is Anthony Guglielmi. They say this.
Anthony
An incident occurred
Guglielmi.
the evening of July 13th at a
What
Trump
the hell?
rally in Pennsylvania. The Secret Service has implemented protective measures and former president is safe. This is now an active Secret Service investigation, and further information will be released when available. We also know the FBI and the ATF are cooperating and assisting with this law enforcement investigation. But we also know, according to sources, this is being described as an attempted assassination attempt. We just got that news in from Jackie Heinrich there, that the suspect, the shooter in this, who is now dead, was taken out by members of a Secret Service task force there on the ground in Butler, PA here. Hal, what do you make of those developments? Because the Secret Service's role in all this and their response, very quick, we watched it there on the stage. They huddled around the former president, tackled him, got him to safety here. What do you make of the Secret Service's response right now, knowing they took out the shooter? Do you have questions about how they went about this, Hal?
Actually, it looks like it was a standard playbook how they do it. Now that we know that it was a counter sniper that took him out, I'd like to revise something. We have more details.
Okay.
All right. Initially, it was thought maybe this could be somebody who was in close. Maybe it could be a small caliber weapon. If it was a counter sniper that took out whoever the shooter was, it could be the shooter was further out. And again, this goes to sound. The audio is tough to pick up when we're doing it, indirectly here because we aren't physically there. So it could have been that it could have been a little bit further standoff than, say, using a small arm like a pistol. We will find out. Could be the counter sniper took out somebody standing right by the stage. That's possible too. But it does open up the possibility that this could have been something with a little bit longer range weapon. I wouldn't rule that out at this point. If it was a counter sniper that took them out, and that's what they do. They look around. They're constantly scanning the area to find out if there's there's a potential threat out there. Of course, once rounds are fired, they zero in on that very quickly to eliminate the threat, which is exactly what they did. Although it's very clear that whatever happened, now we know there were 2 other people that were injured. We had the.
Man, I got a clip from another lady page. Her name is Marina Medvin. Marina Medvin on Twitter, and she has a video. I'll let y'all see it. Said it was an ER doctor, and from one of the victims who got shot.
Honor, that's exactly where I heard him come from.
What did you see, sir?
I heard the shots. I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot, he's been shot. So I made my way over. I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There was lots of blood, and he had brain matter there. And so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. I got people there really helpful. I got
Was
him
there only
up
one
on the
person
bench.
shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person.
I was the only one that did
We
it.
need to evacuate everybody.
Honor, that's exactly where I
I'll let
heard
it
him
play
come
again.
from.
What did you see,
Uh,
Matter of fact,
sir?
I'll let it play one more time after this
I heard
too.
the shots.
Just for people who
I
may
thought it
watch
was
it later.
firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot, he's been shot. So I made my way over. I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There was lots of blood, and he had brain matter there. And so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. I got people there really helpful. I got
Was
him
there only
up
one
on the
person
bench.
shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person.
One more time.
I was the only one
You
that
guys,
did
we
it.
need to evacuate everybody.
Honor, that's exactly where I heard him come from.
What did you see, sir?
I heard the shots. I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot, he's been shot. So I made my way over. I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There was lots of blood, and he had brain matter there. And so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. I got people there really helpful. I got
Was
him
there only
up
one
on the
person
bench.
shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person.
I was the only one that did it.
Oh, and I was just looking up. Okay. I'm just coming across these videos. I'm going to play them with y'all.
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party. And we
Damn, the way it sounds, it sounds like it's outside my
head. Up
headphones.
there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees up there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see them, but we could hear them. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes. Of
can't click out,
I'm estimating here. I have no idea, but we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle, absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof, we can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him up the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes?
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes?
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
My bad. I can't click off of the page. I can normally click off of it.
Who were looking at us from the top of the
barn.
They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? This is not a big place.
Did you see, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful.
Oh shit.
We don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof. Right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl. We saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. It was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it,
but
it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof. Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security permit.
I wonder why they won't pan over there and let us see what he's pointing at.
There's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not on every building here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions I think that are going to come.
There's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth right in front of me. Yes.
Tell us about her.
Nice horse, nice lady running with a flag. Seemed very, patriotic.
But what's the significance of her?
No, he asked me if I saw a horse.
Okay. All right, well listen, I'm sorry you had to witness that. That was a terrible thing. And you should stay safe with your family and
gotcha.
Thanks for your time.
Man.
That's pretty crazy, man. That guy said he actually seen the shooter going up on the roof. It was telling some cops, and then they didn't even react to it. I was kind of wondering the same thing. I thought that Secret Service, they're going to be on all of the roofs that's within gunshot range of the president. I always thought that. And let me see if it's another interview, because it's all kind of stuff starting to pop up now. That must be the innocent bystander who got killed. They say a potential shooter, but the shooter was on the roof. This is the shooter video right here.
I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
Oh, he's dead. But no doubt about
Lá em
that.
cima, né? Aqui, ó. You can see the guy there. I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
He did, all right. Yeah, I think this video is labeled wrong. It keeps saying a potential Trump shooter, but I think that's the victim, because that looks like that's somebody at the rally, and they don't they don't look like they're like going at the guy. You know what I mean? See, now this is confusing. A lot of this stuff is misleading. They say, let's take a moment to appreciate this hero for killing the shooter only seconds after he opened fire on President Trump. So if the shooter was on a roof somewhere, he shot him from there? I mean, people, I think they're just making tweets. People are just making tweets. They just assuming stuff. Yeah, you got to be careful when you're watching and looking up things on the internet. You definitely do. Because they could tell you anything, man. I want to play this video again of this guy and his description of what he saw about the shooter and how nobody didn't do anything.
Event. Nope. But you were just outside. Tell us what you saw.
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, you know, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees up there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea. You know. But,
give me your thoughts, man. Leave a comment or join the live. It's a link in the chats.
Bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us.
What's up, mistress?
There, you know, we're pointing.
What's going on?
At the guy crawling up the roof,
and he had a gun, right?
Appreciate you coming through.
You can clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely.
I didn't know you had posted that 14 minutes ago. I'm sorry. I've been looking at my phone.
Like, hey man, there's
my bad.
A guy on the roof with a rifle, and the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof, we can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots rang out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
What do you want him to say?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there.
Incredibly shocking.
The white roof, right there.
Did you get a look at him? Did you
get a look at him?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. No, I mean, it was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to...
He said, I absolutely know about guns, for sure.
It was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof. Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security perimeter. But my question is, There's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not at every building here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions I think that are going to come.
There's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth right in front of me. Yes.
Tell us about her.
I mean, nice horse, nice lady running with a flag. Seemed very, patriotic.
But what's the significance of it?
No, he asked me if I saw a horse.
Okay. All right, well, listen, I'm sorry you had to witness that. That was a terrible thing. And you should stay safe with your family and
Gotcha.
Thanks for your time.
Man.
Someone who...
Yep. So as I said, man, I'm still a skeptic about all of this. I'm just taking my time, gathering my information, and I'm just gonna go off of what I know, what I think happened. I'm not gonna jump to any conclusions. I'm just gonna say I'm just a skeptic. So they're not gonna make me jump out there and, somebody needs to do something. Why is this going on? Why did this happen to the president, the former president? Nah. Am I still gonna vote for Trump? Probably so. Do I think this is a psyop? Probably so. But we'll never know right now. Stuff like that, it takes years to find out. You just got to use your own discernment, really. Just don't let them sway you. Just go with what you know. Go with how you feel. That's all you can do. Man, I think I've been on here long enough. I'm a dip. I appreciate everybody coming through. Y'all can always leave comments on this video and I will respond. But that's the end of the RoddyRod Show. It was just a little update on the Donald Trump situation that happened. He got shot at. They missed him, ended up killing the shooter. Went over a couple of videos from some news sources and just tried to give the people an outlet to speak their mind. But as always, I appreciate everybody coming through. Appreciate y'all leaving comments, the ones that did. And even if you didn't, I appreciate you. With that said, peace.